Hello guys, Namaskar, I'm Ronit and welcome back to my channel The Bong Connection. I am here to do a non-spoiler review for Brahmāstra starring Ranbir Kapoor, Alia Bhatt, Amitabh Bachchan, Nagarjuna, Moni Roy in the leading roles along with many others. So, what do you think about this movie? So, before going in the movie, I was super duper excited. Till the time they announced the movie, to the time they released the teaser, then the trailer, I was super duper hyped. It's after a long time that I was hyped for a Bollywood movie. I was waiting for Kesaria to drop. I was looking on Google and searching on Google when is Kesaria going to drop. Then when it dropped, I was equally excited. I loved the song. I loved everything they were doing, the marketing campaigns, the pre-release promo, and everything that was going. Even though many people were like boycotting the movie, and then many people were saying the VFX is not that good, the acting doesn't look decent, but I was still keeping my hopes intact that yes, this is definitely going to deliver. So, did it deliver on my expectations? Well, to quite some extent. Let me be very clear and frank with you what I felt about this movie. When I watched the first half of the movie, I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the first half, barring the love story. So, the first half was really entertaining when they were showing the VFX, when the story was revolving around Shiva, trying to find out who he really is, trying to figure out how he knows about these people who are protecting these astras, and he's trying to figure out about his past as well, so how he has these powers and etc etc. That was really interesting. The fight scenes, the way the chasing, there is a car chase sequence which is amazing before the interval, and the interval block scene is really awesome. There is also a very amazing surprise cameo by a great actor, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. I think most of you guys know already, but I'm not going to spoil it for you anyway. So I loved that cameo. That was like my favorite part of that first half. But then the love story. So the love story started off when, you know, Ranveer's character Shiva sees Isha, that is played by Alia, for the very first time. He falls head over heels for her. I totally understand. But the build up to that storyline is the most abrupt and weird thing is ever. Like, I didn't feel the connection at all. Like, it moved too fast. I couldn't believe their love story when it started off. They looked cute together, but something was really off, and I felt that okay, maybe throughout the course of the whole movie I will get used to it, but I didn't. The second half didn't help it either. It even bogged down that whole love story. And the fact that the makers were trying to base this whole movie more on the power of love than the actual power of Shiva made it even worse. So the second half started off really slow. Yes, we got some really good glimpse into the past of Shiva, and that was the most exciting part for me. I think that is the most exciting part for me, because that also helped us get some glimpses into other characters that we might get introduced in the future, and that was really cool. But then again came the love story. I couldn't connect with Shiva or Isha's character at all. I didn't feel for them. I didn't feel for their love story. When they were crying for each other, when the other person is in danger, I was like, me and my friends were like, really? I mean, really? Dude, you don't even know her properly and you're like crying for her. I'm like, who does that? You just met few days ago, and like, anyway guys, like, I was not rooting for their love story at all. Like, I wanted to, because both Ranbir and Alia are two of my favorite actors of all time, but I don't know, Alia. And then the dialogues. The biggest gripe that I have from this film are the dialogues and the way they are delivered. Oh my god, it feels like the dialogues are straight from a children's cartoon movie. Like, who says that? Like, there are dialogues like, "Tu bandar hai, तू गधा नहीं, sorry, तू हाथी नहीं, तू तो गेंडा है, गेंडा." And I'm like, and it's happening in the middle of a fight scene, by the way. So I was like, excuse me? Am I supposed to laugh at that? Am I supposed to, like, what am I supposed to feel about that? The dialogues are the cringiest I've ever seen in, like, one of the biggest blockbuster movies, and you have the cringiest dialogues. And even the way it was delivered, especially Ranbir Kapoor's dialogue delivery, I was really not feeling it at all. Like, usually Ranbir Kapoor is very down with it. When he's like being himself, he's being natural with people around him, he's doing good. When he's trying to explain something, or when he's trying to, put an impactful dialogue somewhere, it was very cringe. It felt very flat for me. So yeah, Ranbir looks really good. He dances like a dream. He emotes well, but something was really off about his character. I was like, as long as he was actually trying to explore his fire powers, I was really invested in that, and I really, really enjoyed the way he used his fire powers. That was really, really cool. But then when he spoke, the moment he started speaking, and then he came together with Isha's character, I was like, we don't need it. We don't need it. Please let her out of this film right now. And to my shock, I have been telling you guys, each and every one of you remember in my trailer reaction and my teaser reaction, I told you I had this theory that, Alia Bhatt is just not a damsel in distress. She's going to be much more than a love interest. She's going to play a very important role. And they did give her an important role, but the role that they gave her was not at all important for any of the audience so far, because we felt that her character was the most annoying character in the whole film. She was just there to create chaos and wreak havoc. I know she was there to help Ranbir, come in terms with his power and make it much more amazing. And if you see the climax, you will feel like, oh yeah, Alia is definitely something. She is definitely involved in helping Ranbir battle these enemies and everything. But trust me, I didn't need that. I needed her to be just more than a love interest. She could have done so much more. I don't know. She was just limited to just a girl who looked beautiful, by the way. She looked like $1,000,000 in each and every frame. Like, being a gay guy, I fell in love with her. Being like a female friends of mine, they were like, wow, she looks beautiful. And on top of that, she plays a Bengali girl. By the way, she spoke Bengali, which was not bad, which is better than any non-Bengali actresses speaking Bengali so far. She was good. She was really good. And Ayan Mukherjee did good. So I am really happy that they did that. That was the biggest twist for us. Like, I was not expecting her to speak Bengali at all. So, like, little bit of Bengali that she spoke, I was like, okay, Alia, I see you, girl. But yeah, apart from looking gorgeous and $1,000,000, she didn't have anything to do in this film. I was super duper annoyed by millions of times she just screamed Shiva on screen. She was like, you will just count how many times she screamed Shiva every time she was in danger. Even though she was not in danger, she just, whenever she was like, if Shiva is hurting, she's like, Shiva! If Shiva is in agony, she is like, Shiva! If Shiva is smiling, he's like, Shiva! Look, oh, stop it! For the God's sake. Yes, I was annoyed by Alia's character, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this is one of the most visually stunning films I have seen this year. The VFX is really cool. I love the way they use the astras, different astras. Nandi Astra is absolute banger. I loved Vanar Astra. That was super duper cool. This is one of the most action-packed, visually stunning astras I have seen in that, like the way they used it in the movie. Definitely awesome. Nagastra, then Pavan Astra. I loved Pavan Astra. All the characters, small characters, but you know what took away, like the characters were not really pivotal in the film. Like, I felt like those characters were not really sprinkled. There is another very surprising cameo which I was not expecting at all, but she's an actress, by the way, but she didn't do much apart from just flying a helicopter. And I was like, what? She didn't even have a decent dialogue in the film. I was like, why? Why is she reduced to that? Maybe I'm just, this is my theory. Yet again, here at my maybe in the second part they're going to explore these characters more, because I was very disappointed by how they used this important and pivotal characters, and they felt like they were not used enough. Nagarjuna and Amitabh Bachchan were really very strong in whatever they were given. They were actually the decent acting that we saw was from Amitabh Bachchan, Nagarjuna, and the special appearance that I cannot talk about. All these three actors did a fabulous job for with whatever time they were screen time they were given. Nagarjuna was given the smallest screen time. I was really surprised, because he was, the way he was marketed in the whole trailer and everything, I thought that he would get more screen time, but he didn't. So that was really disappointing for me. But his Astra, the way he used Nandi Astra was really cool. I loved it. I also love the fact that whenever he used Nandi Astra, his voice became, his baritone became much more deeper, and it's like, wow, that was awesome. Overall, I enjoyed his power a lot. Moni Roy, coming to Moni Roy and her sidekicks. Her sidekicks only did the fighting stuff. As long as they were doing the fighting stuff, especially the fighting stuff was really cool when they did it. When they spoke, it was just trash, because they were just screaming on top of their voice, nothing else. Moni Roy's dialogue delivery, I don't know, something felt a little off about that, but she was doing her best. She put a lot of effort into this character. She looked like she came out directly from Nagin serial, but way more serious and way more impactful. I liked her character design. I liked costumes. I like her makeup and everything she did. She looked evil. Her intentions looked evil, but I also wanted to know her backstory, why she was doing what she was doing. Maybe they would explain it in the second film, but I don't know. Like, her character should have been explored more, I felt. I wanted to know more about her, why she was doing what she was doing. But yeah, her powers were cool. I loved the use of her powers. It felt like she was really overpowered, but sometimes she felt very silly, her powers, like she was not using them much. So I wanted to see more of her. So yeah, that was it about Moni Roy and her sidekicks. The visual effects was stunning. The music was really good. I liked the music a lot. The background score especially. Sometimes it got a little too loud, but I also enjoyed, but still I enjoyed the music. I liked the tension and the thrill that the background score brought. So that is really cool. Cinematography was stunning. I loved it. But this film is not perfect. I can say that overall I enjoyed this movie. It was a fun ride, but is it a movie that will stay with me for a long time? Maybe not. Maybe because of the special effects and the VFX, and maybe I need to watch it again to see the action sequences, because the action sequences were really cool. I really enjoyed the action sequences. I need to bask them more in. But will this remain as one of my favorite movies of all time? No, not at all. I expected it to be one of the top best movies of all time in my watch list, but sadly it's not. It missed the mark. But at the same time, I appreciate the effort that went into this film, and I'm definitely very excited for the second and the third part, because the characters that are going to be in the second or third part are really fabulous. And if they can pull it off, they can do the casting right, they can do the storyline correctly, they can really hit the mark. I really hit the mark, and I really want them to do that, because I'm a huge fan of superheroes and superpowers and everything, and that is the reason I went and watching this film. It was going to explore Hindu mythology and astras from all the Hindu mythology, Brahmāstra, Brahmadev, like Nagastra, and so many beautiful things that we always just read in the history books and everywhere, but we never got to see them on screen. But the way they did it, I really appreciate that effort and thinking. But to write it down in a paper and to apply it in a real life situation are two different things. So that's where Anand Mukherjee missed a little bit. I really hope they focus more on the story of the characters rather than the love story. That's my biggest gripe. The love story was not at all needed. Even if they wanted to apply the love story, they could have kept it a little short. Trust me. When there was a moment when Alia Bhatt was not in the frame. She was not supposed to be in the frame, and she went somewhere. I was like, Finally, you will not believe I am saying this being an Alia Bhatt fan. I was really relieved that she was not there because it was so annoying to see her on screen just screaming Shiva and not doing anything. So yeah, that is the only thing that was the biggest gripe. But overall, I really enjoyed this film. I never felt bored. I would not say I would felt bored, maybe a little bit in the second half, the starting of the second half, but overall it was fun, and I think you should definitely go and watch it because they have put a lot of the 3D. I watched it in 3D, not in IMAX 3D. I think the experience would have been alleviated if I watched it in the IMAX 3D, but I watched it in normal 3D, but it was still good, really good, and I felt that everything was coming to me. There were scenes where glass shards were breaking, were coming to us, and it felt like if they were going to stab you, you know. So that was cool. So I think this movie is definitely going to be great if you watch it in IMAX 3D or 3D, because this movie, like at home, you will enjoy it, but at theater, this is definitely meant to be a theater experience. Stop boycotting films and go and watch it because films are meant to be entertaining. Films are not meant to be boycotted. If you boycott the only source of entertainment, you will be the one losing out. That's what I feel. So please go and watch it. I'm pretty sure it's the best of a Soul movie. I cannot say that it's not. Barring some cringy dialogues and some cringy acting here and there, overall, it's a fun movie. You will have a great time, especially with your family and friends, whoever it is. Go and watch it. Guys, that was my reaction. Let me know what you think if you have already watched the film, and do you agree or disagree with me? Comment down below in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and share the love. Until then, ciao.